Bonjour. Um, I hope you've already watched my intro video so that you have a little bit of an idea of my philosophy on teaching and also a bit of who I am as a person. This video is more intended to let you know how I feel about French 1 and what you can expect from the course, and what your child can expect from the course and what they're going to get out of it in the end. The first question is why do I teach French specifically, and why do I love teaching level 1? Um, French is an amazing language. It's the only language besides English that's spoken on every continent. Um, it's a language of business, it's a language of academics, it's a language of love, as many people say. Learning a second language, no matter what it is, actually help prevents Alzheimer's and other mental issues as you get older. It allows you so many job opportunities and ability to travel to Africa, Asia, North America, South America, and be able to communicate. And also, language is the tool by which we understand everything. So when you learn a second language, you learn a second way to see everything. And I can think of few things more fulfilling and thrilling than that is. Uh, French 1, I love teaching. Many teachers don't like teaching the lower levels because they don't feel like they can do very much with their students, but I absolutely love taking a student who knows no French whatsoever, and by the end of the year, really seeing what they're capable of. And it's kind of like going back to kindergarten a little bit, so I get to have a lot of fun with it. Now, how do I do it? How do I structure my class? What's important for you to know about the course? It's not an easy one. Learning a second language, if you think about it, to go from knowing zero language to being able to speak in complete sentences takes an infant, what, 3 years? And they're doing nothing else besides learning to speak and learning to move around. Your child has 7 other classes and a life outside of school, and they can't dedicate 24 hours a day. So in the short time that we do have to be very fast, and we have to be very thorough, and I have to have very high expectations for them. But the good news is I give them a ton of support. Like I said in my intro video, I have a lot of tutorials, and I teach them a lot of really good study skills and ways to prepare. One thing you need to know is your child will have a notebook for the class, and it's not just any kind of notebook, it's an interactive notebook, which means they'll be taking notes, but they'll also be using the notebook space to practice vocabulary, draw pictures, have a personal investment in it. And that's something they'll be doing inside and outside of class. So that is the single most important resource they will have. They will not have a textbook that they take home. This will be their only resource that they will be able to keep with them. So make sure that they have a notebook and that they're keeping track of it and that they are doing their interactions and practice at home. Your child will have homework almost every night. So if they tell you, I don't have any French homework, chances are that's not true. A lot of times kids just forget, but now that you know that, you'll be able to keep them back on track for that. And the homework should just be one sheet, something relatively simple. But that's because science has shown over and over again, it's not how long you study, for example, 1 hour, it's how many different study times you have. So let me give you a scenario. If you study, you have a test on Monday, and Sunday night you study an hour. That's 60 minutes of your life. Or you can study 10 minutes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You've only studied 50 minutes of your life, and that is actually wildly more effective. That's because when you sleep, your brain is creating new connections. So it's really important to do just a little bit at a time. And that's also a lot easier to handle. Kids get overwhelmed when they feel like they have to do a whole lot all at once. And that's not preferable, and that's not what I'm going to expect from them. I do absolutely expect your child to be positive and to be respectful of others. Learning to speak a foreign language is very, very scary, and I will not allow anyone to make your child feel uncomfortable, nor allow your child to make anyone else feel uncomfortable. I want everyone to feel safe and happy, and like making mistakes is natural. And I tell them that on the very first day. You are going to make mistakes, so many of them, and it's totally okay. So that's a big part of how I get the students invested is I let them know they are always safe with me, and I do not judge them for the mistakes that they make. It's a fun part of the learning process. That's what's great about level 1, is that you can make mistakes, and the stakes are very, very low overall. Like I said before, I will have tutorials if your student does require help. I am happy to give them one-on-one attention. In the classroom setting, that's not always possible because the classes are usually quite large, but if they need that, I am available for them. Now, what do you get out of this? If I've done my job right, by the time your child ends French 1, they should be able to speak, read, write, and understand some basic French. For example, they'll be able to talk about their likes and dislikes, what classes they have, and what they think of them. They'll be able to talk about what extracurricular activities they do, what they're going to do in the weekend, what they've done already. They'll even be able to talk about recipes and ordering foods in restaurants. So they'll have a pretty good basic set, enough French that they would be able to go to France and take you on holiday and do all the necessary translating for you. So that's really exciting. They go from nothing to being able to function in a French-speaking country. Also, hopefully they will have some organization and study skills that they'll be able to use in their other classes as well to help their continued path to high school success. Well, I think that's about it. So if you have any questions for me about what the requirements are, or more about my philosophy on teaching, or what your student can be doing outside of class, or if you just want to say hi, my email is rbembler@garlandisd.net. RB Embler, that's my last name, at garlandisd.net. Au revoir.